Hello and welcome to Coco Styling. Today we're going a bit more in detail about each ID in the Kiwi system. If you still haven't seen part 1, it will be linked down below. That video is about how to classify your lines, and that will help you find your ID way easier. You can also find the pictures used in this video on my Pinterest at Coco Styling. So let's start. Dramatics. This is the most yang type. There are also soft dramatics. These types have a bit more yang than a pure dramatic. Bone structure. They are very tall, narrow, and elongated. They will usually be 5'5" and up, but since they have a very long vertical line, they look and are tall, usually above 5'7" or 1.7 meters. They are naturally very slim because they tend to have a narrow and small body frame. They have narrow and sharp square shoulders, long legs and arms, and large hands and feet. But their hands and feet, even if they're large, they are slim and narrow. Their bone structure gives them a very sleek appearance, sometimes referred as delicate, but sleek is a better word because of their sharp lines and long vertical line. Body flesh. They are usually flat-chested. They have a straight waist, meaning that their waist is not defined at all, straight hips, and taut-looking skin. Facial features. They have sharp and angular faces, meaning that they have small, straight eyes, thin lips, taut cheekbones, and almond eyes. Dramatics have mostly A answers on the test. A few things you can keep in mind to know if you are one are that dramatics won't have an hourglass figure, they won't have fleshy cheeks, lips, or eyes, they won't have a broad or blunt bone structure, they can't be very small or petite, and they won't have short and fleshy arms or legs. If you have a more fleshy look, you might be a soft dramatic. This means that you have a lot of the dramatic features, but you still have a little bit of yang, meaning that you are a little bit more fleshy and curvy. Some slightly yang features are having fleshy upper arms and tights, having a fleshy bust and hips, wider hands and feet. You might have full lips, cheeks, and bust, or you might have large eyes. Still, since you are a part of the dramatic family, a soft dramatic won't have a boyish figure, small hands and feet, be overly petite, or have small facial features. What to wear as a part of the dramatic family. It's very important for you to dress your vertical line. This means that you will look great in long and geometric lines. If you are a soft type, it's better if you wear waist-defining clothes. Since you are really narrow, try not to wear very loose or wide clothes. You might like you're drowning in them. Straight or fitted cuts are better options. Sharply tailored clothes will look amazing on dramatics. Draped and elongated silhouettes are also good. Pure dramatics look great in form-fitting garments. Stiff fabrics like wool, leather, and heavy cottons. If you want to wear details, make sure they're clean, sharp, and geometric. Monochromatic looks are the best to avoid breaking your long vertical lines. Soft and lightweight fabrics can be worn, but they shouldn't be oversized, and they should be fitted. Naturals. Just like dramatics, naturals are yang dominated. Most of their features are yang, but instead of their edges being sharp, they are blunt. Bone structure. They are very tall, but instead of narrow, they are broad. They can be slightly tall, usually between 5'5" and 5'8". They might have a bigger bone structure, giving them a broad look. They have wide, blunt, square shoulders, long arms and legs, and large hands and feet, but they are wide, maybe even look squarish. Body flesh. Naturals are usually flat-chested, but since their bone structure is wide, their chest is also wide. They will have a straight waist with a wide waistline, straight lips, and they naturally look very muscular. Facial features. They have wide angular faces with blunt edges. This means their eyes might look slightly small and be wide-spaced, wide thin lips, and muscular cheekbones. Naturals will be mostly answers B on the Kiwi test. Something that might help you figure out if you are natural or not is that naturals won't have overly sharp features, they won't have an hourglass figure, they won't be too short, and they won't have very fleshy features. Naturals can be slightly yin, making them a soft natural, or they can be slightly yang, making them a flamboyant natural. If you are a flamboyant natural, you might have narrow hands and feet, taut cheeks, or be extremely tall, over 5'8". If you are a soft natural, you might be slightly shorter, but still look taller, have shorter limbs, fleshy hands and feet, a smaller waist but not overly defined. You might have an hourglass or pear shape, round eyes, full lips, soft cheeks, and a small wide nose. What to wear as a natural type? Long and flowy silhouettes are your best option. Flowing details, they can really pull off the oversized look, the effortless look as well. They look their best in mid to lightweight fabrics like knits, denim, cotton, and linen. Monochromatic looks are best to avoid breaking their long vertical line. Also, it's best if they avoid very stiff and sharp lines. And it's a lot better if they choose loose or fitted lines instead of tight lines. Classics. Classics are the perfect balance between yin and yang. They are very symmetrical and their features are neither yin or yang, they are very blended. Bone structure. They don't look taller or shorter than they are. They will be between 5'4" and 5'7". They are very symmetrical and they are not completely sharp, angular, or straight. Their shoulders are neither straight or sloped. They can have moderate or slightly long arms and legs, and also moderate or slightly long feet and hands. Body flesh. Their hips, waist, and bust are evenly proportioned and are neither flat or large. They have a slightly defined waist. Their flesh does not look taut nor curvy. Their face might look chiseled and symmetrical. Facial features. They are very symmetrical. They have moderate eyes, lips, and cheeks, neither big or small. Classics are mostly answers C on the test. Classics won't be extremely tall, have a large bone structure, have large limbs, hands, or feet. They won't be extremely petite or have extremely delicate features. They also won't have an exaggerated hourglass figure or have lush and fleshy features like round eyes, full lips, and fleshy cheeks. You can be either slightly yang or slightly yin. If you are slightly yang, that would make you a dramatic classic. This means that you might be slightly more angular than neutral, slightly sharper, you are more muscular at an ideal weight, you might have slightly long limbs, moderate to large eyes, and you might be slightly pear-shaped. A few signs that you might be slightly yin, making you a soft classic, are that you might be shorter, between 5'4" and 5'6". You might have a slightly rounder face, a wider but not square face shape. Your face and eyes might be slightly rounded. You can have shorter arms and legs, and large eyes and a fleshy face. What to wear as a classic? It's better if you choose clean and sleek silhouettes. Everything should be worn in moderation. Don't go for many details. Clean and symmetrical outfits with a slight waist emphasis. Bottoms that aren't too long or short. Right above the ankles is great for classics. Gamins. Gamins are a combination between yin and yang, but unlike classic types, they have a mixture of yin and yang features instead of just being moderate. Bone structure. They are very petite with angular and straight bones. They have a sharp and narrow bone structure. They can have either square or tapered shoulders. They can have long arms and legs or short arms and legs. And they will typically have small hands and feet. Body flesh. They will usually have a flat chest and bottom unless they have a little bit more weight. They might have fleshier legs. It's very common for them to have a straight waist, meaning that their waist is not defined at all. Because of their small frame, they naturally look very slim. Facial features. They have angular faces, large eyes, moderate to thin lips, and taut-looking cheekbones. Gamins will usually have a doll-like face, huge eyes, full lips, and fleshy cheeks. If you got mostly answers D on the test, you might be a gamin. A gamin will never be over 5'5". They are usually even more petite. Have an extremely large bone structure, have a waspish figure, and be completely symmetrical. You can be slightly yang, making you a flamboyant gamin, or slightly yin, making you a soft gamin. You can be slightly taller than a normal gamin, up to 5'5", have slightly wider shoulders, have large hands and feet, have a sharper face, might look a little bit squarish, have a broad nose and cheeks, and large eyes. You might be a soft gamin if you are very petite, have square tapered shoulders, fleshy hands and feet, a broad nose and jawline, and have short arms and legs. What to wear as a gamin? You will mostly have to dress your frame and your vertical line. You can do this by making breaks in your vertical line with materials or colors. You should wear narrow silhouettes. Oversized clothes might make you look like you're drowning in them. It's a lot better if you choose body-hugging silhouettes. And finally, we have romantics. Romantics are the most yin type. All of their features are yin. Bone structure. They look short and they are short, usually under 5'5". They have very defined waists. They usually have rounded and sloped shoulders, short legs and arms, and small hands and feet, but they can be wider or lush. A small and wide bone structure. Body flesh. They usually have a full chest and curvy hips, a very defined waist. They are soft, voluptuous, fleshy, and delicate looking. Facial features. They have small, round, and delicate features, large round eyes, full lips, and round cheekbones. If you got mostly answers E on the test, you are a romantic. A romantic will not be extremely tall, have a large bone structure, have extremely large hands and feet, have a straight or boyish figure, have overly sharp or angular facial features, have a prominent nose or angular chin, or be completely symmetrical. If you have slightly yin features, you can be a theatrical romantic. Some of these features can be having sharper edges, not completely round, slightly sharp facial features, and be slightly taller than a regular romantic, but up to 5'5". What to wear as a romantic? Avoid overly wide, shapeless, and heavy looks. You can go for dreamy and flowy silhouettes. Soft and rounded lines are the best option for you. Avoid very sharp edges. The best fabrics for you are lace, tulle, linen, light cottons, silk, and chiffon. Some of your best pieces will have a waist emphasis. Go for gentle silhouettes, not too tight and not too loose. These were all the ideas in the Kiwi system. I hope you enjoyed this as well as the last video. Don't forget you can follow me on Instagram and Pinterest for more style inspiration. Have a nice day and I hope to see you soon.